I need my fresh air as well.
Hello zusammen, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all having an awesome day so far. Thanks for clicking on this video. For those of you who don't know me, have never seen me before, hey, what's up? My name is Diana and I am an expat from Canada who now lives in Berlin, Germany. And I talk about my life in Germany, my experiences here, about the German culture, or at least my thoughts on the German culture and what I notice. So if you want to stick around for more videos, definitely hit subscribe down below. And if you like what you see, it would be awesome if you could give it a thumbs up as well. And I can't wink, so all I can do is these weird things. Can anybody else not wink? I can never wink. But for today, I am gonna be talking about what Germans complain about. All right, so I love Germans, I love Germany, but it's funny to hear the different things that different cultures complain about. In Canada, we love to complain about traffic, construction, the weather. Those tend to be the top three things that we complain about. And I've noticed that Germans complain about different things. So I wanted to talk about that just because it's really funny to me when I hear, people around me talk about the same things and complain about the same things. If you guys want to share any complaints that are unique to your culture or Germany, leave them down below. I would love to read them. All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is about people being too loud. Germans love to complain about this, and not only do they complain about it, but they give all the visuals as well in terms of letting you know that this is not okay if you are being way too loud. I notice this a lot if I'm on a train and there's somebody talking on the phone, or maybe a group of people that are a bit too loud. Usually they will get the side eye. People will look at them a little weird, like, what the hell is your problem? Why are you being so loud? And I know that in the trains people do talk, but it's not usually like a very loud voice. It's usually a whisper, and in the event that people are talking too loud on trains especially, you will definitely notice it. Also, there have been times when I've gone to restaurants with Germans, and let's say there's a group of Italian people or I don't know, Spanish people, cultures that tend to be louder beside us, then they will definitely comment on it, and it kind of irritates them because I think it ruins the restaurant and dining experience. Another big one, and I've talked about this one before in a previous video, it's all about the fresh air. And if there is no fresh air in a room, you can bet that they will say something about it. Fresh air is so essential. Frische Luft is super essential to Germans, and if they feel like there's no fresh air in the room, they'll usually say something or go ahead and open a window. But if they're in a place where, let's say, they can't open the windows, you will definitely hear about that. And I had never heard about this beforehand, before moving here, but ever since moving here, it's something that I constantly hear, and it's even something that I notice now. So if a room has like stale air or it's stuffy, then I am all about opening the windows, and I also complain if there is no frische Luft in the room.
I need my fresh air as well.
Now this one tends to be a big one as well, not amongst everybody obviously, but I have noticed that Germans like to complain if the food is too spicy. Even if it's a little bit spicy, a little bit of chili, a little bit of sriracha sauce, it's usually too much for them. Typically German food is more bland, and maybe some of you will get offended by this, but there doesn't seem to be a kick in the food, unless of course it's like currywurst and curry ketchup. Even then, it's very, very mild, especially compared to Mexican food or Thai food, Indian food. It's super, super mild. But for Germans, if something is even a little too spicy, you can also bet that they will complain about it. A good thing though is I've never seen anybody return food at a restaurant. So even if the food is not exactly what they asked for, or even if it is spicy and it's not what they wanted, I have never seen them return food, which is very, very different than Canada and the US. if they even mess up your order a little bit, if they add, you know, a little sprinkle of cheese and you said no cheese, you can bet that in North America, you will be sending that plate back. And that's something that I have noticed does not really happen here. So I actually think that's pretty awesome. I think this one is quite obvious, but it is being late. If somebody is late, that is a huge no here. It's super, super frowned upon. It's looked as extremely rude. And if you are late and you walk into a room late, you will usually hear some sort of snarky remark about it. They'll usually not be like super upset, but they'll be very, I guess, passive aggressive about it or very sarcastic and make a comment if somebody is late. So that is something that I've noticed, and I was late once and I learned my lesson because I did not want to deal with the passive aggressiveness or snarky remarks. So yeah, that is something that I've gotten really good at, being on time. I am definitely more German since moving here, and much less Colombian with my time schedule. And last but not least, one of the most common complaints, I've been hearing this a lot recently, and maybe it's the most controversial out of all of them, is the fact that Germans complain about immigrants and expats not speaking German. And you know what? I cannot even fault them on this. I can't even make jokes about this because I do think it is quite embarrassing that so many people move to Germany and they don't make an effort to learn the language as soon as they move here. Myself included, I am totally guilty about this, but I have heard Germans complain amongst themselves, or they'll even, you know, talk to me and be like, you know what, you've been here for X number of months or however long, and you know, you don't really speak German, and they'll call you out on that and they'll complain about it. And I think it's totally understandable. It is quite disrespectful that so many people live here and don't actually make an effort to speak the language. But, you know, being in Berlin, at least, everyone speaks English, and even the majority of people living here are expats, so they speak English. So it's kind of like you're in an expat bubble and you kind of get lazy when it comes to speaking German. But that doesn't make it okay, and I think this complaint is totally valid, and I definitely wanted to talk about it and say that I am guilty myself for contributing to this complaint and frustration. But that is pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoy it. And again, if you want to share any complaints that are popular in your culture, if you're from a different culture or if you're German, let me know down below. And again, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every single week, and I would be so happy to see you guys around here next week. But that's gonna be all for today. I hope that you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you all in my next one. Cheers!